Cubs faithful, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you will send chills down your spine and make your heart race like a Sammy Sosa home run trot in '98. Right now as we speak, there are 3 massive storylines unfolding that could define our entire season. And I'm not talking about just any regular season drama. I'm talking about the kind of moments that separate championship dreams from October heartbreak. Picture this. Our boys are locked in a nail-biting battle with our crosstown rivals, clinging to a lead that's slipping away faster than a knuckleball in a hurricane. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, our front office is making moves that could shake the very foundation of Wrigleyville. And if that wasn't enough to keep you awake at night, there's a ghost from our past, a former Cubs farmhand who's now wearing enemy colors, who might just be the missing piece to our World Series puzzle. I'm talking about a veteran slugger who's absolutely crushing baseballs this season, a rookie phenom who's been red hot since the All-Star break, and a starting pitcher whose numbers don't tell the whole story of his potential impact. These 3 storylines are colliding right now, like 3 freight trains at Union Station, and Cubs faithful, every single one of them could determine whether we're playing October baseball or watching it from our couches. The tension is so thick you could cut it with a Cubs dugout bat, and the emotions, there, running higher than the ivy on our beloved outfield walls. We've got hope mixed with anxiety, excitement battling with fear, and that familiar Cubs magic that makes us believe in miracles, even when the odds seem stacked against us. But here's what I need from you right now. If this story gives you goosebumps, if it makes your Cubs heart beat a little faster, smash that like button and let me know in the comments what you think is going to happen next. And don't forget to subscribe because this week is going to be absolutely insane for Cubs news. And you don't want to miss a single moment of what could be the most important stretch of our season. So grab your Cubs jersey, maybe pour yourself a cold one, and let me take you inside the most dramatic 48 hours in recent Cubs memory. Starting with a game that had us all holding our breath until the very last out. Cubs faithful, let me paint you a picture of pure Cubs drama that unfolded on the South Side. A game that perfectly captures why we love this team so much and why they drive us absolutely crazy at the same time. We're talking about a 5-4 victory over the White Sox that had more twists and turns than a Wrigley Field foul territory chase. Our boy Ben Brown, Hart, took the mound with something to prove, and after giving up an early bomb to Andrew Benintendi, he settled in like a seasoned veteran. This kid was dealing Cubs faithful, painting corners, mixing his pitches, and looking every bit like the future ace we've been dreaming about. 5 innings of pure artistry after that first inning hiccup, and suddenly the South Side was looking a lot more friendly. But let's talk about the real hero of this story, Nico Hoerner. This man made a defensive play so smart, so fundamentally perfect, that it reminded every Cubs fan why baseball IQ matters just as much as raw talent. With 2 Sox runners on base and the game hanging in the balance, Nico showed why he's becoming the heart and soul of this Cubs infield. When the infield fly was called, most players would have caught it routinely. Not our Nico. He let it drop, caught the runner napping, and turned it into an inning-ending double play that had the Cubs dugout erupting. We built a beautiful 5-1 lead heading into the 8th. And Cubs faithful, you know what happened next because this is the Cubs we're talking about. Ryan Brazier served up a 3-run bomb to Benintendi, his second of the game. And suddenly our comfortable lead had shrunk to 5-4 with a tying run stepping up to the plate. Enter Daniel Palencia in a multi-inning save situation, the kind of pressure cooker moment that either makes careers or breaks them. This man struck out Miguel Vargas to end the 8th, then came back out for the 9th with ice water in his veins. 2 quick outs, then he hits Luis Robert Jr. and puts the tying run on first base with the Southside crowd finally coming alive. But here's what separates champions from pretenders. Palencia induced a routine ground ball. The Cubs turned it, and we walked off that field with a series victory that keeps us tied for first place with Milwaukee. That's clutch baseball, Cubs faithful. That's the kind of mental toughness that wins division titles. This White Sox team isn't the pushover we expected. They're scrappy, they're fighting, and they made us earn every single out. Taking 5 of 6 games from them is exactly what contending teams do. But the way we had to grind for this victory, that's going to pay dividends when October arrives, and every game feels like Game 7. But Cubs faithful, that nail-biting victory was just the beginning of a week that's about to get absolutely wild. Because while we were celebrating on the south side, our front office was working phones and making moves that could change everything. Cubs faithful, while we were all catching our breath from that heart-stopping White Sox series, Jed Hoyer and the front office were busy plotting moves that could send shockwaves through the entire National League Central. We're talking about a kind of aggressive pursuit that shows this organization is absolutely serious about making a championship run. And the target has every Cubs fan buzzing with excitement and anxiety, despite Matt Shaw absolutely torching opposing pitching since the All-Star break. We're talking Port 4443 .074 at 1. CEO zeroed over his last 7 games with 4 home runs that have Cubs fans dreaming of Rookie of the Year awards. Our front office is still aggressively pursuing Arizona's Eugenio Suarez. And Cubs faithful, this isn't just any pursuit. This is the kind of all-in mentality that separates pretenders from champions. Suarez is having the kind of season that legends are made of. 36 home runs, 87 RBIs, and he's leading the entire league in RBIs. This isn't some aging veteran looking for one last payday. This is a 34-year-old 34-year-old slugger who's hitting .579 and showing no signs of slowing down. When league officials are wondering if he'll cool off in August and September, team sources are firing back with sometimes it's just your year. And here's what's making this pursuit even more intense. Our heated division rivals, the Milwaukee Brewers, are also in hot pursuit of Suarez. This isn't just about adding a middle-of-the-order bat. This is about preventing Milwaukee from getting a piece that could push them over the top. The history between Suarez and the Cubs makes this even more personal. 36 home runs and 94 RBIs in 132 career games against us. This man has been torturing Cubs pitching for years, and now we have the chance to make him our problem solver instead of our problem. The beauty of this potential move isn't just what Suarez brings to the lineup, it's the flexibility it creates. Shaw doesn't disappear, he becomes our secret weapon off the bench. The kind of versatile player who can come in late for defense, start at third when we need to give Ian Happ a day off, or provide that clutch pinch hit moment in October. Happ has been struggling compared to his career numbers, and having Shaw's insurance while moving Seiya Suzuki to left field and letting Suarez DH creates a lineup that could strike fear into any opposing pitcher. But Cubs faithful, here's where this story gets even more intriguing. There's talk that Suarez could be packaged with either Zach Gallen or Merrill Kelly, which would address our starting pitching concerns in one massive trade. We're talking about the kind of blockbuster deal that could define not just this season, but the next several years of Cubs baseball. With Kyle Tucker potentially in his only season wearing Cubs blue, Hoyer knows this is our window. This is our moment to go all in, to make the kind of moves that championship teams make when everything aligns. The question isn't whether we should pursue Suarez. It's whether we can beat Milwaukee to the punch and land a slugger who could be the difference between watching October baseball and playing October baseball. But Cubs faithful, as if the Suarez pursuit wasn't enough to keep us all on edge, there's another storyline developing that could be even more dramatic, involving a pitcher who knows Wrigley Field better than most, and whose return could be the stuff of pure baseball poetry. Cubs faithful, prepare yourselves for the kind of baseball poetry that would make even the most cynical fan believe in destiny. While we're all obsessing over Eugenio Suarez and watching Matt Shaw rake, there's a ghost from our past who could be the most important acquisition of all. On his name is Dylan Cease. Let me blow your minds with this story. Cease started his professional career right here in our system. A Cubs farmhand with dreams of pitching at Wrigley Field. Then came the trade that sent him to the White Sox and the deal that brought Jose Quintana to the north side. Now, with just 3 days until the trade deadline, there's a real possibility that Cease could be coming home to finish what he started. I know what you're thinking. That .459 ERA doesn't exactly scream ace material. But Cubs faithful, sometimes the numbers lie, and this is one of those times. Cease's strikeout rate of 29.6% is his highest since 2022, and his walk rate of 8. 6% is just 0.1% away from his career best. His xERA sits at 3.48, more than a full run lower than his actual ERA. which tells us that bad luck and poor defense have inflated his numbers. This isn't just about adding another arm to the rotation. This is about adding a pitcher who understands what it means to wear a Cubs uniform, who knows the pressure of pitching in the biggest markets in baseball, and who has the kind of stuff that can dominate in October. His baby BIP of 323 is well above the league average of soon 300, suggesting that regression is coming. And when it does, we could be looking at a frontline starter who's ready to help deliver a championship. The San Diego Padres won't make this easy. They're in the playoff hunt themselves, and trading away a starter like Cease would be admitting defeat on their season. But if there's any front office that can pull off the impossible, it's ours. We've already shown we're willing to make the big moves by trading for Kyle Tucker, and adding Cease would complete the picture of a team that's ready to go all in. Cubs faithful, think about the narrative here. A former Cubs prospect returns home just in time to help deliver the championship that we've all been dreaming about since 2016. It's the kind of story that Hollywood couldn't write better, and it's unfolding right before our eyes. At $13 million for just this season, Cease represents the perfect rental. Low financial risk but massive upside potential. If he helps us reach the World Series, that $13 million will look like the bargain of the century. And if he rediscovers his ace-level form in a Cubs uniform, we might be looking at the piece that puts us over the top. So Cubs faithful, here we are. 3 days from the trade deadline, tied for first place with Milwaukee, and staring at a collection of moves that could define the next decade of Cubs baseball. Whether it's Cease returning home, Suarez joining our lineup, or Shaw continuing his meteoric rise, this team is showing us that they're not content with just making the playoffs. They want to bring another championship banner to Wrigley Field. If you're as fired up as I am about these possibilities, smash that like button, drop your predictions in the comments, and make sure you're subscribed because the next 72 hours are gonna be absolutely insane for Cubs news. This is our moment, Cubs faithful. The moment when everything we've been building toward comes together. The question isn't whether this team has what it takes to win it all, it's whether we're ready to believe that magic can happen twice in a lifetime. Are you ready to fly the W all the way through October?